I'm the most annoying guy on set because I'm saying, excuse me, you do realize that this should be happening and they wouldn't do that, and you haven't read this, then that means this would be impossible. And everyone's just going, Henry, just shut up and do the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do the thing because he wouldn't do it this way, and he can do this. But with Sherlock, because I absolved myself of being that psychopathic law loyalist, I instead had the wonderful opportunity to work with Jack Thorne's script, work with Harry Bradbeer, the director, and work with Millie Bobby Brown, the lead actress, and also my producer. We could craft a Sherlock which was supportive of Enola as a character, and for me that was a real joy. And so, to answer your question, there's no one character more than the other which I put pressure on. I take the character onto myself, and it's more about self-pressure than external pressure.
Henry Cavill has always been known for his calm and collected demeanor, especially when it comes to handling criticism. But recently, that composure was tested when he was asked about the so-called toxic fandom surrounding his projects. His response? Cool, composed, and respectful of the fans. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's comments about backlash to her Snow White role sparked even more controversy, putting her under fire for harshly dismissing critics. Here's the twist. Despite both actors facing intense public scrutiny, their responses couldn't be more different. In this video, we're breaking down how Henry Cavill's way of handling backlash stands in stark contrast to Rachel Zegler's, and why Cavill might just have the upper hand.
I'm not easily impressed.
No.
I know some people who have done genuinely, seriously impressive stuff. And watching Tom do these stunts, especially in the mountains, in that helicopter, I just thought, okay, I'm officially impressed. This is ridiculous what he's doing. And he learns all these skills for these movies and does them to an elite level. It is remarkable, truly remarkable.
Did you feel the pressure to keep up with him?
He sets a wonderful example and a great bar to reach for.
Before diving into how Henry Cavill responded to fan criticism versus Rachel Zegler's meltdown, let's take a moment to appreciate how Cavill handled a similar situation with grace, something that feels nearly impossible when compared to Zegler's chaotic approach. When Zegler's controversial remarks started making waves, fans and critics expected other Hollywood actors to react. What followed was a perfect example of two stars handling the same issue from different worlds. Cavill, no stranger to intense. Fandoms didn't react defensively. Instead, he laughed it off. Fans of The Witcher were vocal from the start, worried he wouldn't live up to the beloved Geralt character. And when the show deviated from the source material, criticism followed. But Cavill didn't mock the fans. He showed understanding even when the feedback was harsh. He made it clear that criticism doesn't equal toxicity. It's passion. Rather than attack or dismiss fans like Zegler did, Cavill acknowledged that people are allowed to have opinions, even if they criticize his work. His calm, empathetic approach made him stand out. While Zegler alienated her audience, Cavill's laugh-it-off attitude helped him maintain his image and connection. One fueled the fire, the other diffused it with respect, humility, and humor.
Disney is scaling back the premiere of the new Snow White movie. Instead of the usual over-the-top, extravagant event, the studio will hold a low-key pre-party and screening at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. Unlike traditional red carpets, lead stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot will not take questions from the media. Can you imagine the Disney PR team before this event? Please, just don't let Rachel talk. For the love, she's been killing this movie. Snow White is set for release on March 21st. Insiders say that Disney's considering one last move with Snow White, pretending that it was a deepfake created by Russian trolls.
Disney's live-action Snow White has been a disaster from the start, but the latest controversy took it to another level, and even Henry Cavill couldn't help but laugh. While Rachel Zegler spent months defending the film's changes and attacking critics, Cavill's reaction was pure amusement, showing just how absurd it had all become. At a recent event, Cavill was asked about the ongoing drama, including Zegler's claims that the original film was outdated and her insistence on portraying Snow White as a leader, not a romantic. Instead of joining the debate, Cavill chuckled and moved on, making it clear he found the controversy ridiculous. That reaction went viral. Fans saw it as a subtle but clear jab at Zegler's increasingly outlandish comments. Zegler had alienated fans from the start by mocking the original 1937 film. claiming Snow White shouldn't dream of love. When Disney announced the 7 dwarfs would be replaced by magical creatures, fans accused them of erasing the film's charm in favor of political correctness. While Zegler lashed out at critics, Cavill stayed professional, letting laughter say everything that needed to be said. Cavill's respect for fans contrasted sharply with Zegler's aggressive dismissals. The backlash grew so intense that Disney scaled back the premiere to a small, low-key event. But no damage control could erase the bad press. Through it all, Cavill remained a fan favorite, showing that sometimes the best way to respond to Hollywood drama is with a simple laugh.
Goodness me, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. I really feel the love, and I love you guys too. It's so wonderful to be here. But I'm going to talk about what it was like filming my final season, and I actually just want to talk about my co-stars here, because once again, it was such a pleasure and an honor to be working with you guys. You guys bring so much nuance and detail to these characters, which are often at risk of being oversimplified. And what you guys have done with the characters has involved work, care, and effort. And believe me, working with you guys was the biggest pleasure. So, just want to say I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you very much.
Me, right?
For cardio's sake, what do you do for cardio? No cardio.
No, I run. That's the savory answer.
Yeah. So what is the real answer?
I think they get it.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My oldest brother was 4 years older than me. He was considerably larger and incredibly strong. Simon, he was so strong that we would make fun of him by saying Hulk smash every time he got angry.
Were you guys surprised to find out that he was a gamer?
No. Like, no. Really. No, I wear my geek on my sleeve these days.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably, is it pretty hard for you to like come to something like Comic-Con and just wander around and...
I don't wander around, man. Like,
yeah, you don't get to.
I walk around sort of back alleyways and stuff, and yeah.
A big NFL football fan.
Yes.
Which is unusual because typically when someone from England will come here, they get annoyed when I say football, referring to football.
Football, right.
Because soccer's called football over there, but we know what the real football is. It's here. But you are what fan of the Chiefs, right?
I'm a Chiefs fan, yeah.
And how did that happen?
Okay, so I spend a lot of time over here, obviously, and I've been watching some American football. I started to like the sport, and I realized I had to choose a team. And the only way I could choose a team was with something that was never going to change. So it wasn't going to be my buddy likes this team or whatever it may be. So I figured the one thing which won't ever change in my life is the Superman aspect of it. And I figured Superman's from Kansas. The Chiefs, people in Kansas support the Chiefs. It just all added up.
So you just kind of said like, oh, if Superman was a football fan...
Oh, he'd definitely be a Chiefs fan.
He'd be a Chiefs fan.
100%.
And you're probably right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Henry Cavill's departure from The Witcher wasn't just about scheduling or Superman. According to insiders, it stemmed from his growing frustration with Netflix's disregard for the original source material, a pattern tied to Hollywood's obsession with modernizing classic stories to fit a woke agenda, often at the cost of authenticity. Unlike actors who take franchise roles without understanding them, Cavill is a true fan. He read Andrzej Sapkowski's books, played the Witcher games, and deeply respected the lore. This wasn't just a job, it was a passion. But on set, he clashed with writers over changes that contradicted the original vision. He pushed for faithfulness, but the creators wanted modernization, alienating longtime fans in the process. Cavill wasn't fighting minor changes, he was pushing back against an ideological rewrite. The Blood Origin spin-off, a clear example of this shift, bombed with a 13% audience score. Fans rejected the changes, craving authenticity. Cavill's commitment to the fans and the story stood out in a Hollywood more interested in ideology than storytelling. When it became clear Netflix wouldn't respect the lore, he walked away. That move hurt the Witcher franchise. Fan interest dropped, and Netflix failed to recreate Game of Thrones level success. Cavill's departure wasn't just an actor quitting. It was a stand against Hollywood's rewriting of beloved franchises. And now, with his move to Warhammer 40K, a project where he has creative control, Cavill's message is clear. He won't compromise for anyone.
You really a nerd? Because I know you don't look like a nerd. You look like the opposite of a nerd.
Right.
You look like the quarterback or even, the offensive lineman or something like that. You're a big, handsome, muscular guy. And yet, you have hobbies, the hobbies of a nerd. Would you...
I do.
I'm told are very involved with, and this is... What is this thing you're painting?
It's a helmet. A very small helmet.
And this is the full figure...
And that is a body attached
to the helmet.
To the helmet.
You painted this.
I did.
And then you play with it?
You paint many of them, and then you play with them with other people.
How many did you paint?
Well,
like more than one?
It's within the confines of the hobby. We call it our grey pile of shame.
Your grey pile of shame?
Yeah, because they start off grey, and I have a very large grey pile of shame.
Are they metal or are they plastic?
They are plastic. They used to be metal, but now they're all plastic.
If I could change the world in some way. That's a very good question. I don't really know.
Didn't you nearly lost quite an important job?
Absolutely, yeah. I was playing a game called World of Warcraft. I missed the call from Zack Snyder to tell me I got Superman.
But did you hear the phone ringing?
I did.
And you chose to ignore it?
Absolutely.
Did you win the video game?
Sadly, no. So I called him back immediately and said, I'm really sorry, I was saving someone's life. And I missed your call.
Which is what I do all the time.
And then he gave me the news.
So you were forgiven.
I was.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're a PC gamer?
Yeah.
What, was that from when you were young? Or?
Yes. Yeah, my dad got me into that when I was very, very young.
Did you kind of build your own gaming PC?
I have not quite ventured into building my own myself. I have had custom PCs over the years. That will be the next project. As soon as I find enough time and the bravery, I might put my own PC together.
They're stronger than regular humans. They're trained excessively, and they are used to kill monsters. And we find Geralt in season 2 after having denied the responsibility of having a child surprise, which is, oh goodness, this is a long explanation.
Read the books.
I was wondering what the geekiest thing in your house was. I mean, aside from your gaming rig.
Geekiest thing would have to be my Warhammer stuff.
We're talking Games Workshop, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. It's that took me a while to kind of confess to openly and publicly.
A collection of white undercoat spray paint that just lurks in the back of the cupboard.
Yeah. I was like, what's this? For graffiti.
What's that you have to dehydrate yourself?
That's the worst part of it. Diet is difficult, and you're hungry, but when you're dehydrating for 3 days, you get to the point on the last day where you can smell water. Nearby.
So why did you do that? To get super toad?
It gets it makes your skin really thin, so it sits on the muscles.
Wow. How do you feel now? Do you feel that Henry isn't really able to come out himself now?
My moustache bullies me. I can barely sleep at night because it forces me to put a moustache hammock onto it, so it can sleep, so I can sleep.
Who would have known the drive?
Henry Cavill has shown again and again that he refuses to play by Hollywood's political rulebook. While many actors go along with studio agendas to protect their careers, Cavill prioritizes authenticity over conformity. His decision to walk away from The Witcher proves he won't support projects that disrespect fans or the source material. He loved playing Geralt and fought hard to stay true to the books and games. But the showrunners went in a different direction, rewriting lore, embracing identity politics, and mocking the original vision. When it became clear that the story was being sacrificed for modern trends, Cavill left. And the failure of Blood, Origin only confirmed he was right. The same thing happened with Superman. Cavill wanted to return to the classic, hopeful version of the character. But Warner Brothers had different plans, exploring ideologically motivated versions of the hero. Cavill refused to go along with it, choosing to walk away rather than compromise. Now, rumors say he's in talks for a Star Wars role. Fans are hopeful, but cautious, given Disney's recent missteps. If Cavill does join the franchise, it'll be on his terms. He has a history of walking away from projects that betray their roots, and Star Wars would be no different. His commitment to Warhammer 40K, where he has full control, proves he means it when he says he cares about respecting the story.
Genuinely a fan of the books and the game and everything. Apparently on set, you know more than anyone else.
I wouldn't necessarily say anyone else, but I'm a big fan.
Yes.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So do you correct people?
I don't necessarily.
Bitwit Kyle, who I watched a lot of YouTube videos of, and he was absolutely fantastic. He was really informative about how to do all this stuff. And then it's just reading the manual, which a lot of people don't do. And they end up asking questions online, and people always respond with RTFM,
which is
read the manual.
What are your go-to sci-fi or fantasy recommendations in the world of books?
Anything by Raymond E. Feist, anything by David Gemmell, anything by Brandon Sanderson, and obviously Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time.
That was like a shoot from the hip, 4 in the head.
Your nerd flag with pride.
Yes.
Now, one of your hobbies, and he's got a lot of them, ladies and gentlemen, one of your hobbies is you paint...
Makes me sound weird.
Well, you do have more hobbies than the average man, I'd say. But you paint, is it World of Warcraft?
Warhammer.
Warhammer, I'm a fool.
Playing a demigod informing what your preparation for Superman.
Well, I'm going to say Theseus isn't a demigod.
That's what it says on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Wikipedia? Using Wikipedia as your source of information?
Hollywood often tries to silence actors who push back against the agenda, but Cavill's massive fan support makes him untouchable. Fans rally behind him because he stands for something rare in the entertainment industry: integrity. As long as Henry Cavill continues rejecting political storytelling in favor of authentic adaptations, he'll remain a hero to audiences tired of seeing their favorite stories rewritten. His calm, respectful approach to criticism, especially compared to Rachel Zegler's dismissive attitude, shows the power of empathy in maintaining fan relationships. Cavill's exits from The Witcher and Superman weren't just career moves, they were statements of principle. While Hollywood pushes political narratives, Cavill stands firm in his belief that fans deserve faithful storytelling. In today's entertainment landscape, where ideological shifts often take precedence over good writing, Cavill is a symbol of resistance. If you value true storytelling, support actors like Henry Cavill, those who fight for the legacy of the characters and stories that fans love.